Hello guys and welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to an update episode in Michis Esport Diaries. And as you can see, things have changed a little bit over here. We quickly talk about the sporting aspects. And then we talk about this little guy who's currently stretching and yawning here on the couch, relaxing a little bit, which is great. So it has been a couple of weeks, actually month, since the last episode, and there's not too many things to talk about. Most of the things you are aware anyway, due to you following on all the social medias, due to you joining the stream, seeing the races. But there is a few things that I just wanted to point out which have made me very sad and very happy at the same time. So let's just go back to the beginning of March where things have unfolded in the Virtual Endurance Championship. So I can't even remember what kind of race it was, which has been the last one for me in the Virtual Endurance Championship as it stands. I think it was the 6 hours of, was it Road America? Despite utter frustration. I can't remember. It's meaningless in the end anyway. It is a shame because this league, I've been part of it for like 7 or 8, 9 years. And the stoppage has nothing to do with the league itself. It's more, you have to admit that R Factor 2, as great as it still is still a dated type of software, a dated type of simulation. I would still recommend everyone that wants to have a great racing and driving experience to go for R Factor 2, especially check out the daily races, right? So there's good cars, there's fun cars, there's still reasonably enough people to have a race every evening, a couple of races every evening actually. But when it comes to Virtual Endurance Championship, we've seen a decline in driver quality, grid quality, grid sizes over the past 2, maybe even 3 years. This is nothing where you could point at the administration of VEC. It's just a matter of life cycle thing. And on top of that, my teammates, they kind of lost the motivation. So we decided to pull the plug on the entry because, I haven't tested as much in the BMW as I should have or wanted to have when committing to the series. And then at some point you just need to consider, right, instead of wasting your time in that race week for like doing 5 hours of practice, then going 6 hours around in circles and being unhappy with how things are going, you may as well better stop, right? And then on the other hand, there were a couple of new projects happening which were more interesting for me both as a driver, more fun as a driver, more appealing for me to do, which was committing my time into Le Mans Ultimate, checking out online championships, joining the VMS Pro Series, which in the end has been better after all, or like a more good of an experience that I first believed it would. And with that, we leave the VEC aside. VEC was still a great time. VEC gave me a lot. We're a champion there in the hypercar category, I think in 2022 or so. I've made great friendships and great memories over there. And I don't think it must be the end of a thing. It could also just be a sabbatical or whatever. You never know how Virtual Endurance Championship is going to go in the future. Will they go over to Le Mans Ultimate? Will they not? Those things to be seen, and a comeback might obviously be just around the corner. Right, then we've spoken about online championships and the VMS Pro Series. And I'm going to combine them into this topic of the diary because I've been super happy, I've been super lucky with my performances in both that first multi-class master series that we did, now especially in the second where the grid was a lot stronger The consistency was up. Arguably, not everyone always did 5 out of the 6 races like we did, but still, the competition has been really fierce in that season of Multi-Class Masters that we've just finished with a Ferrari in Le Mans last Thursday. So those 2 championships that I got, with the one with the BMW, like from, what was it, mid-February to mid-March, or beginning of February to mid-March, and now the second or the third season already, but the second one I actually really competed in, beginning end of March, ending 1st of May. Those 2 championships, I've been really, really happy with it. Like, you know, in the first one, I was like always being second, not having a chance winning it no matter what we did. And I think, especially now in that last season that we just finished with a Ferrari, we should have finished 5th, 4th, 6th, 7th maybe, in a lot of races. But we came, I think, second 3 times. We had 1 5th position or 6th position, and obviously Le Mans we have won. And that gave us the championship in the end, which is amazing. I know this is a meaningless championship. It might be a meaningless document saying we're overall champion of like a 6-week series or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is why I'm competing, right? I just want to prove that I got everything it takes to still compete at top level. And I think we're doing that great at the minute. As he seemingly dreams about drinking something during the sleep. Nice little puppy. We're going to speak about him in a moment. And then, last but not least, besides those Multi-Class Master championships, I think the real big deal, which also made me glowing a little bit, was the victory and the championship, the overall championship in the VMS Pro Series against Yanni, against David, against Fabio Grigoletto, against a lot of people that are really, really fast. Have I been lucky in that series? Oh, hell yeah, because remember at Maastricht, we came home very late, like 15 or 20 minutes before the official practice came. We just loaded a setup and somehow won that race with the mixed conditions, 1 hour of driving in Sebring, where the rain started to fall and I went maximum risk, and it just paid out perfectly, me winning that race while Yanni was still on the way home. And then there was that issue with the game allocating different tires to you. Despite you've selected medium, you didn't get the medium onto the car. You got like the hards onto the car or whatever. And because of my strategy that I've selected in the 2.4, in the 2 hour 40-minute Bahrain season finale, where I said, yeah, I'm gonna change tires at every single pit stop, whereas everyone else wanted to at least double stint the tires that they've started on. This has been obviously the game changer. This has saved my race and therefore also saved my championship. So I have been extremely lucky in these races, not gonna lie. But sometimes this is what it takes, and I'm really happy about being the maiden champion in that series. You know, Season 2 has already started. P7 and P6, it didn't really go that well, did it? But at the end of the day, with a minimalistic approach that I've done it in the last 4 months, as in time investment, the results are outstanding and the results are really, really great. And that also makes me happy just from a driver, esport personality point of view. But even more so, it makes me happy to be able to give you guys still a good show. We're still fighting for the win. You know, I love efficiency, and this has been very efficient so far. At the end of the day, though, I also have to admit that for better positions or for better results in the VMS Pro Series now in Season 2, we need to invest a little bit more time, which is tricky at the same time, because what's coming now, as we've recapitalized on the last 3 months a little bit, is we're going to shift our focus a little bit more to this guy over here. This is our small puppy called Harvey. Harvey is a Magyar Viszla, or pretends to be one. At the minute he's still a little baby, needing a lot of sleep, but also needing a lot of attention. And while ultimately it was my girlfriend's utter wish to have a dog, to have that specific dog, it still requires me to take over responsibilities, take over some duties, whether that is in the household or whether that is actually sitting this guy here while she is off for doing some work where she cannot take him. And that also means this will be an impact to our streaming, to our racing career, at the least for this year. Because, as you can imagine, this guy needs a lot of attention, needs a lot of love, needs a lot of training and working and practice to get him into a dog that is not only a friend, that is not only a family member, but that is like a real addition and something that you can rely on, right? Imagine if my girlfriend's gone, I would have the VMS Pro Series for 2 hours 40. And because I can't trust this guy, because he would like completely destroy the flat over here while we leave him 3 hours alone, this would obviously work. And this is nothing that we're doing right now. This is more like, in 1 or 2 years when he's able to keep on himself for a little bit, and then only in emergency situations. So far, for every instance where we would need to go somewhere as a couple, but couldn't bring the dog, we had a dog sitter, of course, because it's very important. You're not only thinking about yourself. It's like, puppy is going to be great in life. He's going to, boost your mentality, boost your mental health. It certainly gives you a different approach. You learn a lot about yourself, I can tell you. This has just started, like just the way you're interacting with him, and trying to understand what he wants, what he needs. You're practicing your acknowledgement, you're practicing your awareness, your perception of his actions, of his body language, and trying to understand what that dog's actually trying to tell you. Either way, long story short, there might be a little less streams in the next couple of weeks and days, as you're like, more puppy time for me. And he had a little tete-a-tete with one of the, how do I call them, blankets. And I just found a fiber between his teeth, so removed it. And this is what I mean. You need to be so on top of the guy. You need to be aware of what he's doing at all times. And that means even less time for practicing, less time for streaming. But to this day, and we have him for 2 weeks, as of right today, he is a great puppy. There is only 1 or 2 concerning things, like he's biting a lot, and he appears to have a small issue with closed boxes, such as for the car, or also which shall be his safe space, where we're currently still considering different options. Apart from that, he is sensible, he's mature, he's actually quite careful. He learns ultimately quick. It's insane. Like, you're talking, this guy is 10 weeks old. You're talking about a baby still in regards of he's fully adult with 3 years' time. So we're talking really baby time. But he is so quickly in anticipating what is a sit, what is a place. He's also good at bagging. Like, every time one of us goes into the kitchen, even if we just prepare a coffee for ourselves, he's like sitting aside. It's like, I'm waiting for food. So a couple of things that you need to work around with, right? But it's been a great addition to life. It is also a little bit rough. I may look a little bit done, which is because nights have become interrupted. But that is a period, and that's part of it. And in all fairness, as much as you know how much I do love sim racing and how much I would ever do to be able to keep sim racing. I have to admit that he's a puppy once in life, right? When we got him, he was smaller than a cat. In the meanwhile, I think he's just about exceeding a cat. And at the end of this year, he's almost as tall as a full-grown Labrador. So you get like 60 centimeters shoulder height. And he's growing faster than you can actually anticipate it. Like, you look at him, like, did he just grow? And the next morning you look at him and be like, oh yeah, his legs certainly got longer. And the day after, like, hang on a minute, he's now a centimeter longer as well. So you can watch him grow every day. And this time with him, this time also with my girlfriend, is super valuable. It is something that you only have once, maybe twice or 3 times in life, where you want to spend the time seeing this thing grow up. You still want to spend the time, obviously, when he's grown, and then obviously activities change a little bit as well. But, you know, the decision between taking the dog today, because my girlfriend has to go somewhere, and instead of like calling the dog sitter and do a stream, I'm more like, yeah, I'll become the dog sitter myself at the moment and take care of him, because the love he is spreading to us is insane. The breed obviously loves touching their human bodies anyway, but every morning, when he just can't sleep anymore, the ultimate key thing to put him back to sleep is like, you go into the couch, place yourself onto the couch, put the dog into your arm, and just have another go. And that is really, really something that's touching. And you know, I'm team cat. I never really would have wanted a dog, but I'm so shocked, love shocked with him, that it's a great experience. Anyway, you see, I want to touch him again, but he's asleep, so never wake a sleeping dog. That's actually going to be it for today again. A little bit of an update as in what has happened over the last 3 months. You may have already seen in the last 2 weeks less content, less posts, less stories, more dog stories. That will remain a little bit more. I've also put the link of his Instagram account into the description of this video. You can obviously have a look on how he's doing. As of course, we decided to do a little bit of an Instagram for him also, you know, to keep the family informed, like show them their bits and pieces, because otherwise, mom, brother, dad, parents-in-law, friends, other friends, more friends, colleagues, yeah, you would be like forwarding this message like all day long. So they can check on him whenever they want, and that is the idea behind it mainly. Right. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Happy month of May. May is going to be an amazing month. We have lots of Formula 1. We have the Monaco Grand Prix. We have the Indy 500. We have more WEC in Spa, the 6 hours of Spa. And ultimately, we're getting closer to the month of June, which means 24 hours of Le Mans activities in the real world and also on the sim side. So there may be one final race for me to do in the Virtual Endurance Championship, as you can imagine. More about that at the given points, but that's how the situation is looking. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the appreciation that we had when we showed the dog on stream this Thursday. Thank you for your support, for being able to take a power and to take a good stamina out of it, for winning the 2 multi-class master championships, the VMS Pro Series championship. These results in the early 2025 mean a lot to me. And with that, guys, have a great start into the coming week. See you next time. Bye-bye.